The day I returned home, I thought I might hear the echoes of my childhood laughter again, or at least the faint remnants of a family who once shielded me from the world. But I was met with silence, thick and suffocating. I trudged up the driveway, my heart a hurricane in my chest, memories of snickers and derision swirling in my mind like a grim specter. Years prior, they'd told me I was insane to believe in the conspiracies of cursed pipes and haunted infrastructures. "You're ruining your life, Sam." My mother's voice still hissed in my memory. "You'll bring disgrace upon this family." But I had proven them all wrong, too late for them to realize how much the dark truths I'd unearthed would haunt not only my dreams, but their waking lives as well. I stood before the old house, its paint peeling like the pages of a forgotten tome. My family hadn't changed. They were like relics preserved in time, their disbelief fossilized in their faces. It was my father who opened the door, an incredulous frown plastered across his brow. "What do you want?" His voice was flat, devoid of warmth. I swallowed hard, the lump in my throat throbbing. "I came to share what I've learned," I said, my own words sounding like a confession. "About the weeping pipes, Enough! We don't want your madness back in our lives." He stepped back, the door nearly slamming shut, but I wedged my foot in, desperate. "No, Dad, this is important. You have to listen." The urgency in my voice caught him off guard, and he hesitated. My mother joined him, her presence a shadow that loomed behind him like a guardian of denial. "Why would we listen to a lunatic?" she spat, her eyes sharp as daggers. I could feel the weight of years borne upon me, years of ridicule, years of searching for validation in the whispers of drains and the echoes of ancient hydraulics. "Because you don't understand what's truly happening beneath the city." I found them. The hunger. Suddenly the ground beneath our feet trembled. The walls of the old house shivered as if the very structure was alive. I knew what was happening. I had seen it before, too many times. The weeping pipes weren't just folklore. They were conduits of the grotesque, channels through which unspeakable horror flowed. "Sam, stop this nonsense," my mother shouted, panic weaving through her voice. "You're not bringing this here. You're scaring your father." "Scaring?" I laughed, a bitter sound that echoed back at me. "What scares me is that you refuse to see. The water has a will. It carries those it consumes." Just then, a deep groan reverberated through the house, followed by a sloshing sound that echoed as if some terrible entity was stirring just beneath the floorboards. "Please, let's go inside," my father said, his bravado faltering. But the door was already collapsing under the weight of something unseen. The walls shuddered, and the air thickened with an unnatural humidity that seeped in from somewhere deep below. My parents glanced toward each other, their expressions shifting from anger to confusion and then to something worse, fear. And that's when it happened. A dark, viscous slop oozed from the cracks in the floor, pooling like ink, glistening with a malevolence I had only ever encountered in the bowels of the city. "What the hell is that?" my father cried, stepping back. "It's the truth!" I shouted over the growing noise, my heart pounding with both dread and anticipation. "This is what I've been trying to warn you about. You mocked me, but these horrors are real, and—" The slop began to form shapes, twisting and curling like a mass of sentient shadows, reaching toward us with hungry intent. Faces appeared in the dark liquid, twisted, contorted. The echoes of those lost in the drains. Their cries were muffled, but the anguish was profound, clawing at the edges of their sanity. "No, this can't be happening," my mother shrieked, her composure shattered as she stumbled backward, nearly tripping over the threshold. "This is your fault, Sam. You brought this here." "No," I shouted, overwhelmed with emotion and the weight of my revelations. "You brought it on yourselves, your disbelief. I tried to save you. The shadows surged forward, and I could see the realization dawn on. You'll hear the voices and understand the truth, if you survive. With that, I turned my back and walked away from my family, absorbed in the chaos that ensued. Their screams echoed, twisted by despair, but I felt no guilt. I had crossed the threshold into understanding, and now they would face their own reckoning, an echo of the disbelief they'd inflicted upon me. As I walked away from that house, I felt a strange tranquility settle over me. They would finally see the depth of their blindness. I had survived the horror of the weeping pipes, and now, armed with knowledge that terrified the world, I was no longer a disgrace. I was a harbinger of truth. I glanced back one last time and saw the shadows encroach upon the door, their tendrils reaching like skeletal fingers. My heart ached, not for the family I'd lost, but for the knowledge of what they could have embraced. In the end, it wasn't just about proving them wrong. It was about surviving what they could never comprehend. I turned my back on the house, letting the echoes of their disbelief fade into the darkness, knowing the shadows would always linger there, haunting those who refused to see.